What is going on, everybody, and welcome back into Barley Studios. Now, today we are in the outside workshop. Now, a slowly evolving workshop. As you can see, I don't even have a countertop on this side yet. I got this one almost completed out. But we are going to start a tumbler project here. Now, I haven't done a hydro dip on my channel here in a while, and it's just not something that I do very often, and I like to challenge myself to do more of. I had a customer reach out to me on Etsy. If you don't hit me up on Etsy, you can get some custom art or just favorite my shop and some of my listings. I create all sorts of different fun items there on my channel, and a lot of those are featured here on my YouTube channel. So super excited that a customer reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, do you do custom work?" Oh yes, I love custom work as long as you allow me to do my artistic freedom type of thing. So of course I said yes, and we have another bigger project rolling out maybe later on in the year, depending on how this one goes. She ordered a smaller tumbler, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a hydro dip with an epoxy swirl outside edge. So like the bottom half will be an epoxy swirl, beautiful glitter kind of like swirl to it. And then the top will be like a hydro dip. So that's why I have the bucket of water here. I'm going to make a few hydro dips in this video before we go into the second half where I actually do the epoxy swirl type of thing. And I'll probably keep these kind of short, simple, nice and easy. So I won't do a whole lot of color announcements when I put them into this. I will say, hey, look, I'm hitting it with some spray paint. I'm hitting it with some inks. I'm hitting it with some glitter. And then we'll dip the bad boy. So it's not going to be super detailed, super intense, but it's just to be something fun for us to do here in the studio before we kind of roll into making it really glamified and beautiful. So let's go ahead and get some paints out. Let's dump the first one of the four, and then we'll go ahead and begin the next process. So let me get some stuff out here, guys, and let's catch you back in a minute. All right, you guys, so the first step of this is to go ahead and make sure I have clean water. As you can see, I do have a little bit of debris on the outside edges of the water, kind of like the surface, as it were. And you can kind of collect around the outside edges of the bin. Now, this is a brand new bin, so I've never used it before. We're just going to use a paper towel here. And I'll just go back and forth. I'm going to get as much of that as possible. It's not really going to hurt the tumbler in any way, but I want to make sure that I can kind of get as much of that debris up as I can. It is a little bit warm out here, guys, if you don't know already. I do not have AC out in the studio yet, so just a different space to work with. So it's still a little bit of debris back there. It's no problem at all. As I work the water and really break it in, then that will be resolved. Let me get one more glove on here, you guys. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to start off with, let's start off with a pink. Let's do a pink one, okay? And I'm going to make sure that my gloves are as hot as I can, right? And we're going to start off with a pink one. Okay, so I'm going to start off with layering in a lot of spray paints, and then we're going to do a few inks, and then we're going to do a little layer of glitter, okay? But let's start off with a little bit of shaky glitter here. So this is Disco from Glitter Chimps. Super, super cool. So let's go ahead and put some of this in there, and we'll kind of spread that out a little bit right there, okay? And then we're going to start off with, we're going to do a gloss Mambu Pink, and that is from Krylon, okay? We're going to really kind of layer it in there a little bit there. I want to try to push that glitter to where it's back in the middle a little bit, okay? All right, let that rest for a second, and then we're going to come in with some neon. Now, this is a Rust-Oleum fluorescent bright neon pink. A little bit of a different color here, you guys, so we're going to shake that up a bit. Look at that, look at that. I do have my door open, so it's not causing any kind of like stinky stuff in here. It's really just flowing right out the door. It's really nice. Look how it's nice and marbled right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of a lighter color here. This is probably going to be more opaque. Now, this is Rust-Oleum. This is a candy pink, okay? Let those cells kind of heal up there a little bit. Let them heal up a little bit. All right, that's such a paled out color that I really don't know if I like that or not, but it's going to add a little bit of milkiness to it. What do you think? Let's add a little bit more of that Mambu. I really like that big cell right there. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll drop a few inks. Now I'm going to start off just by real random. We're going to drop a little bit of Fiesta. And I should separate the paint a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Now this is going to create cells. Look how beautiful that is, you guys. It's really cool. Now, sometimes it sits on top of the paint. If the paint has a really thick layer on it, sometimes it'll sell itself out and this expand. This is going to be a gumball. There's no problem with kind of doubling up on some areas. Create some little of its own little cells on top of it. It's really cool, you guys. If you need to, you can also dip that in there and it creates a cell on its own. So you can just dip the tip of it in there and it creates that. Let's do a little bit of a lighter color. Oh, look how light that is, you guys. Beautiful. Super duper light. It's almost non-existent. I'm gonna go around some of those outside cells. And see, it's bubbling. That ink and the alcohol will bubble under the surface if it can get up under those pigments of the Rust-Oleum paint. So just remember that Rust-Oleum paint hasn't cured yet. Now this can be much darker. This is a raspberry. I'm going to go in the middle of each of those cells just to kind of create something a little extra there. Now some of this won't be visible. You know, some of it gets washed out. All right, okay. I'm digging that, you guys. Let's go ahead and hit it with a little bit more neon. I'm trying to cover my paint there, my spray nozzle on that, so that way it doesn't really shoot through to the camera lens. I'm not going to do any white on this. I'm gonna let it be because it's a white base, right? So we're not going to put any white on that, but I am going to hit it with a little bit more prime Mambo. Mambo! Let that cell close up. All right, now here's our tumbler, okay? We're going to go ahead and just dip it right there. Really doesn't matter because we only want the top to be dipped, right? So we're going to kind of just go in at an angle and just have fun with it, right? So we're going to go ahead and go in at a smooth angle. Try to break some of that cells away. I'm gonna put another layer on right there, so we're gonna go ahead and just take that, throw it out, and I'm gonna put another layer on. So let me do it again. I'm gonna create a big cell here. It's gonna look really cool. Let's put some of that pink on the outside edges. Woo, kind of splattered on me a little bit. Okay, I'll go ahead and drop a few Fiestas. Look at the cells on that. Look really cool, right? A little bit more Mambo. Mambo! Alrighty. This time we're going to go ahead and dip it on the other side, and it's going to give it just a different pattern. There it is. Spectacular. I'll get a picture of it here in a few minutes. Spectacular, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that off to the side now. All right, there's that one. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the water off now and reset the camera, and we'll do another one. All right, so that was our pink one, you guys. Now let's go ahead and make a different color. So that's our pink one there. Let's do a red one, actually. Let's do a red one, okay? So I'm gonna throw on some new gloves here. All right, so let's go ahead and run into the red one now. It's gonna be super duper simple, you guys. Super duper simple. This is gonna be a glossy red pepper from Krylon. And we're also going to put a little bit of matte fire red in there. This is going to be a very simple one. Drop a little bit of silver in here. Not much at all. We're gonna drop a little bit of glitter in here. Okay, let's go ahead and hit it with a little bit of that pepper red. Wouldn't it be cool if it looked like wounds or something? That'd be cool, right? Cool deal. All right, so let me go ahead and get that off there. All righty, let's go ahead and dip this bad boy here. We did get some cells. Those are really wicked looking. Got some cool cells on those. And I like that I'm able to see a little bit of white underneath. That's nice. I like it. That's going to be a beautiful horror cup when we get done. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make a green one. Green. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off there. All right, let's go ahead and make a green one. Let's start off with Gloss Jungle Green. I'm immediately going to go into some botanical. Gonna go into some limeade. How about some mojo? Right on, dude. And just a tiny bit of citrus, not much. Get that really pukey green color. Not much. We're going to continue on with the jungle green. Now we're gonna hit a little bit of a hunter green, not much at all. Get that one to work. I'm stuck with the same color. All right, let's see if we can get this sail pulled onto the bottom of the tumbler. Cool looking. All right, last one is gonna be the blue one for the customer. All right, guys, so now we're on the very last one, and this is the one the customer actually ordered. This is gonna be a blue tumbler here. So let me go ahead and get this thing like set up here. So this is the one we're gonna take the most time on, and we're also gonna invest the brunt of the materials in. So I do have about 3 or 4 blues picked out, and what we're gonna do is we're also gonna introduce a little bit of pitch black. So we're immediately gonna go in with that. I'm gonna create some cells here. So really cool cells before we even begin anything else. I'm gonna really darken those cells out a little bit, create little flower effects. Really cool. And I'm also gonna touch those with a little bit of silver. So make sure you shake that alcohol ink up. Kind of throw those in there. Now they may change a little bit because I'm gonna apply obviously some different things to it, and I may give them another dip anyways. We're gonna apply a liberal amount of glitter in there, and now we're gonna starting off with a aqua from Rust-Oleum. Okay, so let's just have fun with this, you guys. We'll go slow. I'm also gonna try to make sure all that black stays in the middle, kinda, and it's gonna be just a nice, fun surprise on what we get. I would like for it to look very veiny. And the main focus of it is the very top. We want the very top of the tumbler to be covered to perfection. This is going to be a lagoon from Rust-Oleum. A lot darker here. Much more of a teal. That's what she says she likes, is blues and teals. Try to get some of that in the middle there. Looking good. I like the veiny. See how veiny that is? It's kind of like a marbly vein type of look. The black looks really nice. All right, let's give it some blue pigment ink. So let's go off with a cobalt. Okay. We are going to bring in a little bit of Laguna. Okay, we're gonna go with a little bit of let's see, monsoon, very dark monsoon. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more of that satin aqua. Let that sit for just a second there. Okay. Okay. Grab the color tumbler there. So here she goes. Let's see what we can make here. Okay. Let's see. Just gonna try to capture just a little bit more of that pigment that's left over there. It's not a priority, but it's just really nice to try to use what I have in there, especially some of those white cells. It's like we're missing something, you guys. Let's get a little bit of blue in there. Not a whole lot at all. I'm just gonna barely dip it in there. There we go. It was just one little blue spot, that little white spot that was poking through there. So we're good there. Cool. There's her cup base coated. Now we're gonna let those set up there. I don't get too much inside. All right, you guys, so I'm going to clean this up now. We are done with this portion of the project there. All right, guys, just like that, we have our 4 hydro dip tumblers now. There are a lot of ways that you can hydro dip tumblers. You can only do inks if you want more of a subtle look. I really go heavy with a lot of my hydro dips, and sometimes in reality, I do create hard edges at times. So sometimes, for instance, on this red one, I have a hard line right there. It's no big deal. It just creates a really like a geometric type of look to it. Whereas then you have this one here. It has more of a slime effect. It has a lot of swirls and things like that. This is more of a full coverage, but you still get a lot of the beautiful spackling and things like that you would get. Now, a lot of that is random, and you just don't really plan for that type of thing. But then you have the actual customer's cup, which I took an extra few moments on, and we have a really great overall coverage. Now, the bottom of that tumbler will be swirled if the customer still likes that idea, and they would have their company logo on the front. So this is the project that we're going to be moving forward with. But just be aware that these will be up for a live sale. So if you were seeing this, I can make something similar to it in the future for you. If you'd like to, just reach out to me through Etsy, or if you'd like to email me through my YouTube channel. Again, just remember also that the water, we can put a lot of stuff in the water, including the inks and the pigments and the glitters and stuff. And the water really does get dingy and dirty. But as you apply different colors, the color of the water changes. So we started off with the pink, then we went to a red, and then we applied a green, and then we went to the blue. So these are like complementary colors, as it were. So we went from one color to the next without really cleaning out the water, as it were. So just remember that water can change the overall tinge of the paints a little bit. But as long as you're not really going like fine-tune detail with it, then you know, you'll be good to go. Just be aware that each project is different in its own special way, and I look forward to selling these live here on my TikTok shop here soon. So it's gonna be very cool. So I'll probably try to start doing more live tumblers. So if you're interested in having one of your items created live on TikTok or YouTube Live, let me know. Not only is your project live on in memoriam, whether it's a video or a tutorial project, you know, we make all sorts of things here on YouTube, and your project may be featured on the channel in a video, which is pretty cool. So right now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the indoor studio here, and we're gonna start using some epoxies to go ahead and apply the swirl to the bottom of this beautiful, beautiful blue 30 ounce tumbler. And then we will actually get the customer's logo on the front of it. They own a pet business, so that would be kind of cool, something very different. And they have already sent me that logo. Very interesting, very something new. And let's go ahead and get into this inside the studio. Boom!